Well, over 70 years, I would say Harrow Mencap has done a lot. They've come a long way. People's lives are very different from they were 70 years ago.
There used to be this attitude of, oh my goodness, we shut people away in an institution, thank goodness they're gone.
If you had a child who had a learning disability, the message was, put them in a hospital, forget them. And they went into this enormous great place at Leavesden.
Large dormitories, 20 people in it. People were not wearing their own clothes. They were locked up if they misbehaved.
They had no personal space, they had very few personal belongings, where it was very regimented.
It was an asylum, wasn't it?
It sort of trickled along until this living in the community business came up, when they shut the big hospitals and sort of said, get on with it.
The way forward at that time was to have all these care homes within the community.
We did concentrate on houses, because that's the way of getting people out. People no longer go to long-stay hospitals.
This was nearly 30 years ago. The word learning disability was not really mentioned or brought to the forefront as it is now. I think it was almost being hidden somewhere.
As a child, not seeing people with disabilities was the norm. You'd occasionally see someone, and it would be a matter of sort of report and interest that you saw someone, particularly with learning difficulties.
But in the 1970s and 1980s, I would say it was one of embarrassment. I don't think people understood mental health. It was almost a question of snap out of it.
I had quite a few battles with communities when we were trying to open houses. Well, we don't want them here,
2 decades of awareness has made a big difference.
Seeing someone in a wheelchair is no longer the big deal that it once was.
That's changed, I think, for the better, in terms of people working for the council and seeing people very, very visibly, much, much more than previously.
People can do the same job as people who don't have those disabilities.
I found that people are a lot more aware. They recognise, as a minimum, we should be given an equal chance to show what our worth is. The main difference between now and 1996, I guess, was the personalisation agenda.
Personalisation is really essential to so much. I would probably say in the 2.5 decades, it's the biggest transformation I've seen. Instead of saying, well, these are the services that we think you ought to have.
Here's a budget. What would you like to buy with that budget? So you might say, what I really need is help with socialising people, and you can use the money to buy for drama classes. Before personalisation, you would never have that opportunity.
Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
Personalisation and empowerment are two sides of the same coin.
The whole kind of independence and choice and empowerment is kind of really important to the work we do.
We all want to have choice and control over our own lives. We all want to engage, we all want to have relationships, we all want to have friendships.
They want to be understood by the wider population.
I am respecting everyone at Harrow Mencap.
Because people with learning disabilities should be equal citizens and should have exactly the same opportunities as everybody else.
When I came here, I realized that learning disability and mental health doesn't mean that people cannot do anything. People can do everything.
And it is changing, but I think we've still got a heck of a long way to go yet.
The Paralympics have made a big difference.
And I think they give a really, really positive message to people about going out and doing it.
Charities like Mencap really work towards those fulfilling their potential, not limiting their potential to simply being members of society, but also to be leaders in society.
You have to be idealistic if you want to reach for the sky, and I think that in Harrow Mencap we don't have any boundaries.
There are challenges in front of us. There's a lot more to do, but we're not fazed by that. We see opportunities as we go forward. We see ourselves working in partnership with the people that we support.
What we want to do is to go as far as we can, and really it's an endless horizon.
There's a lot more to come. So watch this space.